Looking around you to make sure you're aware of how close you are to someone. At whatever range of motion you can have, open your arms, expanding the chest. And this would be the Whispering Winds song. Breathing in as we expand our arms out, exhaling and hugging ourselves. Let the motion be your guide for a few breaths. Inhaling and expanding. Exhaling as you hug and receive. Inhale and receive. Exhale and give as you hug to yourself. Going at your own rhythm, just allowing this beautiful gift to yourself of receiving and giving. If you wish to pause as you hug and take a few breaths there, listen to your own guidance. Give yourself the atmosphere of emotions that you wish for as you hug yourself. Perhaps peace, joy, freedom. You can also practice this journey by inhaling and expanding the hands out wide as though you're including the world. And as you exhale, you bring the hands to prayer position. So try that 2 times. Inhaling and including all the others in this room, in this city, in the world. And exhaling, bringing everyone together as your 2 hands come together. Once more, inhaling in inclusion, exhaling in connection. And now we're going to connect more deeply to ourselves by taking our pulse in a form taught by Ayurveda. Didn't realize I have to remove the Fitbit. So women will take their pulse on their left wrist and men on their right. And I'm going to turn a little so you guys can kind of see. We're going to take the 3 middle fingers and place them, when you bend your wrist, there's a few creases. You want to go to like right under the 2nd or 3rd crease with your index finger. And those 3 fingers are going to be what's feeling the pulse. Now, just begin to tune in to your pulse today, right now. And play with deepening the pressure of your fingers and then making it lighter, bringing that pulse to the surface of the skin. You're bringing your deepest health into the moment. Now you might want to play around with where the fingers are, moving it slightly up or down until you feel the pulse more strongly. If you feel that your pulse is jumping like a frog, that would be a fire pitta pulse. If your pulse feels like it comes and goes quickly, then maybe gone completely, but like a slithering snake, that's a vata pulse. And If your pulse feels smooth and steady like a swan, that would be a kapha, earth, water pulse. So just notice what it is for you today. The slithering snake is the air and ether, the space elements. And deepen the pressure until you really feel the pulse, and then gently lighten it, bringing it to the surface. That's the practice, to go deep and then light, bringing your deepest health to this moment. Connecting with your core, with the health you were born with, and bringing it into today. And just one more time, I'll remind you, a jumping frog is the pitta fire. A slithering snake, the pulse is fast and then it's gone. Or maybe it stays fast for quite a while. That's the vata, air, ether. And the gliding, steady, slow swan through the lake is the kapha, earth, water elements. And our pulses, actually, when pulse masters read pulse, they find that the pulse is different in each finger that they read through, and there can be all three doshas, fire, earth, and water, air, fire, earth, air, in different ways. So don't worry if sometimes you feel the frog and sometimes you feel the snake. Okay, letting go of your hand, just releasing the fingers. Opening your eyes, just knowing where you are, looking around at your neighbors. We're going to begin the 17 Moons song. And we're going to stand slowly. And if the music could be quiet here. This is when we're going to wish each other well. And we're going to do this silently, making eye contact. And think of your wish for the other coming right from your heart to their heart. Internally, you might wish someone health, wish someone joy, wish someone courage, whatever quality comes to you intuitively. Make that wish for them as you look at them and greet them. Letting the energy come from your heart to their heart. And if you're doing this at home, use your video screen right now, your computer screen, to wish everyone in the class well, looking at each person. So just begin turning to the person next to you and wishing them well. Go right for you. And keep moving and wishing a new person well. Slowly moving back to your mat as you wish people well along the way. Some of you might feel your hands are quite warm, your heart is warm. Taking a few moments now in the next journey to receive all those wishes that you just experienced and that you gave. Feeling into the heart. Your hands may want to rest somewhere on your heart or your stomach. And wish for yourself right now. Wish for the qualities that are in you that you wish to experience more regularly. Entering into the atmosphere of these qualities. Whenever we feel worried or overwhelmed with a wish of something we don't have, we have right there the ability to imagine just the slightest atmosphere of it in ourselves and tune into that. Wish yourself courage. Wish yourself love. Wish any quality you want more of. Wish it right now. And allow that to travel through your entire body, around the body and the space around you, and back into the core of your body, imagining that wish in your feet, through your legs, through your trunk, through your arms, into your face. Whatever that quality is, feel it as it moves through your body. And when you're ready, come back to a seated pose, however you want to sit that's comfortable for you. And you should have, if you're in the room, you should have a piece of paper in front of you with some nursery rhymes. Now, we have people here from different countries, so you might have some nursery rhymes in Russian and French and Spanish, whatever language is your home language. So I want you, this is only here for those who just, their mind goes blank and I don't have any nursery rhymes or songs I want to sing to myself. So this is here for you. But some of you do have songs. It might even be happy birthday. Okay? Now we're gonna try something. The first half of the room closest to me, raise your hand, you two right there. Yep, raise your hands. So this line and forward, we're gonna start with boom, 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 which is our heart sound. I'll do it along with you. And everyone in the back, you're gonna recite any nursery rhyme you want out loud, quietly to yourself, giving it to yourself. Any song at all, okay? It can be a poem. And we're gonna do the boom, boom, boom for about a minute, and then we'll switch. And the back of the room will do boom, 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 and the front will do nursery rhymes, okay? All right, so I don't have any music for this. We are the music. Boom, 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 boom. I don't hear those nursery rhymes. Boom, 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 boom. Hickory dickory dock. Boom, 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 boom. Now the switch places, front of the room will do nursery rhymes, back of the room will do boom, boom. This old man, he played one. He played knick-knack on my thumb with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such fun, and the dish ran away with the spoon. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle and here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout, just tip me over and pour me out. Now go at your own pace, alternating between boom, boom, and telling yourself a nursery rhyme. We'll all be doing our own thing. Boom, 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 boom. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck one, the mouse ran down, hickory dickory dock. Boom, 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 boom. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such fun, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Okay, when you're ready, thank yourself for being silly, for invoking some very young memories, perhaps. And we're gonna shift moods quite drastically now. We're gonna stand up and start to imagine you're in a landscape of your choosing and you're part of a drumming circle. And you might want to continue with the boom boom. I find that the first drum is the drum of our heart. And we're gonna need music. And now start to drum on your body. Find the places, find your own rhythm. There's no right way to drum. You might have a drum in front of you. You might have a drum on the ceiling. You might have a drum around you. With the person next to you. You might want to go really low down and drum near the earth. Or really high up and drum in the sky. Your hands can drum in different ways, different patterns. And when you're ready, let the hands move more slowly until the body settles and lets it go. And I need my notes. Okay, so the drumming warmed us up. And now we're going to allow an emotion to find us. Just notice, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Does a feeling come with it? And any emotion that you find, first feel it inside of yourself. Just noting, what is this made up of? Does this have an image or a sense in my body? What is it to feel this thing? And then invite that feeling, whatever it is, or choose a feeling if none come to you, and let it travel through you, starting at your feet. Let the emotion begin to move through the body however it wishes, and let the body allow flow. with that feeling. And maybe the feeling will change to another one, or you'll drop a new feeling in. Now invite positive feelings or deep feelings. This is not a journey to invite any volatile emotions in. These are emotions to flow with. But however, there's all different kinds of emotions. So welcome whatever comes and flow with it, bringing your caring, bringing your acceptance to that feeling. And when you wish, bring another feeling. Inviting flow and ease and movement to join that feeling. Let the hands be that emotion. Let the hips, the feet, the back, bring it all into that feeling. And choose another emotion when you wish. Bring that in. Almost as though it was in you and it was your dancing partner. And when you're ready, coming to a standing position, letting the body gently move into stillness. However, stillness shows up right now. Sometimes stillness still has a bit of flow in it. So notice stillness, how it is now after that freedom of moving with emotion. Just notice what's happening inside. Notice what's happening in the atmosphere around your body. Notice the breath, how it flows. And beginning with the feet, explore bringing your focus and your attention right into the soles of your feet, allowing the feet to feel as though they could breathe, bringing energy into the feet, allowing energy to flow from the feet down into the ground, and then bringing your focus up through your legs, traveling with your attention through the body. The hands might be helpers to you. Allow them to help you bring your focus. Bring the focus up the legs to the hips. And just feel the energy right around the body as you bring your focus into the body, into the hips, allowing movement as it wishes to move. Bringing your focus to the belly, to the space between the front and the back body, to the back body. And allow your breath to be your friend, your helper. Bring your awareness further up the trunk of the body, the middle of the body, the sides of the body, the back of the body. Coming to the heart center, feeling Feeling wherever it's comfortable in the heart center, on the outside, on the inside, the space behind you. Breathe with that. And allow yourself to breathe from the heart. Now moving your attention to the shoulders, the back of the shoulders, the arms, letting the arms be free, feeling them from the inside, feeling around them. Coming back to the neck, feeling the neck, the throat, the place of expression. And the most inner place in the throat you can access with your imagination. The back of the neck, the jaw, the face. Bring your awareness to the space between your eyes. Bring your awareness all around your head, the space behind your head, the space on top of your head, very gently, as though you were just giving yourself a cooling, gentle shower. And imagine that gentle shower just sprinkling you with beautiful raindrops, letting the energy fall down around your form, cleansing you, giving you a joyful shower, just like the sky will give you on a summer day, letting the rain sprinkle all around your body, letting it fall all the way down back to your feet, and feeling the feet, letting the feet expand and contract, the toes wiggling, feeling the ground. Move the feet until you can feel all of the earth under your heels, the sides of your feet, your toes, the space, all the spaces you can make contact with the earth. And next, we're going to return to a sitting pose. And if anyone wasn't here in the beginning, we're going to do the space traveler's air journey now. And if there's any time you left your body as a form of protection, you may not want to do this journey. Just focus on your breath. So just begin by noticing your breath, noticing how it flows. Taking the palms of your hands and running them along your thighs, connecting with that layer of sensation, and then letting the back of the hands connect with the top of the thighs. Now turning the hands so the palms are making connection, and lift the hands about an inch from your body, feeling the space around the body. And the hands are free in this journey to do what they wish, giving the hands total permission. Begin to think of the qualities of air, the qualities of wind, and let those qualities take you on your own experience. Noticing what it is like to be a leaf in the wind, or a bird, or just yourself in this free state that can float, that can feel the air gently taking you into this atmosphere. Imagine you have a very free body that can glide and soar like a bird. You might want to sit on the top of a tree looking down, or might want to go into space and see the earth below. Letting the hands be free as you imagine this freedom of space, the freedom in the breeze. Notice if there's anywhere you wish to go, go there. Noticing what it's like to be there. And when you're ready, calling yourself back. A gentle reminder, like a whisper, saying, come back home. And letting your imagination bring this space traveler, this bird, this leaf, whatever it is you've been, coming back to join the physical body, to join the heart center, the throat, the gut, the hips, the belly, the legs, coming back to join the free energy body with the beautiful physical body together. Imagining you're in a place near water, whatever kind of water that you like. It could be a pool, it could be a stream, a pond, a lake, an ocean. It could be a bathtub, any water you enjoy. And imagine that you're there by the water and notice what the quality of the air feels like. Is it sunny? Is it moist? Is there a breeze? And look around this environment. Are there other people? Are there trees? And decide if you wish to get in the water. Slowly begin to get in the water. Feeling the water as it touches your skin. Letting your hands rest on the top of the water. And if you wish to go into the water, give yourself the ability to breathe underwater or to float on top of the water. And let yourself go through the water wherever the journey takes you. Notice if there's guides or helpers in the water, animals. Letting images come to you like a dream. Letting yourself be anything. You may wish to be part person, part animal, all animal, mythical being. And if no images come, let the thoughts, let the feelings. There's no need to see things. Let the music guide you. And when you're ready, let the water take you to a new place, a new environment, a place you enjoy, a place you've never been, a place that feels magical. And as you come out of the water, let your body take on the form of an avatar. You may be much taller, much smaller. You might have a different kind of form altogether, more mythical or animal. And in this new body, walk through this environment. It could be a town, it could be a forest, it could be a city, it could be a beach, a mountain. walking through the environment, notice what's around you. Notice how it feels to be in this form. Perhaps you want to fly or bounce or crawl or run or sit or rest. And somewhere in this place, you'll find a room. Feels like a very special cave. And in the cave, there's many scribes sitting at old-fashioned typewriters, and they're writing things down. And you notice that one of these writers is writing things for you. And you ask to have that beautiful manuscript that's for you given to you. The scribe hands it to you, and you notice what's written on it is a message for you. You may receive that message in words or feelings or sensations. You might receive that message as a symbol or an image. Let the message come to you. And look around this cave of scribes and notice if there's anywhere something in the cave that's important to you to remember, or perhaps a gift you wish to take with you. And holding on to your message and perhaps your gift or the thing that you wish to take from the cave, walk out of the cave or the room and find a beautiful garden in front of you with an old ancient tree. And there by the tree, decide, would you like to lie down in your imagination next to the tree or sit with the tree at your back? And sitting under the tree, take a moment to consider what it is like to be a tree. Imagine that you and the tree are one, feeling the earthiness, the life in the tree and around the tree. Perhaps there are small animals. Perhaps there are insects or moss or flowers or leaves. Your tree might be a tree in the summer or the winter, spring or fall. Notice the qualities of the tree. And notice how it feels to feel that your body is this tree. The tree may have a very deep wisdom it shares with you. You may find that you enjoy being on the edges of the tree or deep in the center of the tree, in the roots or in the branches, in the leaves. Letting anything come as it comes to you. Thank the tree for sharing its space with you. And notice your breath. Let the idea, the sense of the tree go, as though it was a dream you woke from. And coming into the body, your body right here and now. Feel your legs. Feel your stomach, your heart center, your shoulders, your face. Just let yourself rest here as yourself. Allowing everything to fall away as though you were in a very deep, deep rest. Letting yourself die into this moment, held by the earth, held by each other. Noticing anything that wishes to be noticed, letting it be exactly as it is, accepting whatever your experience is right now. Changing nothing. And when you're ready, begin to gently open your eyes. Wiggle your fingers. Come back to a sitting position if you've been lying down. If it's more comfortable to sit in a chair, please honor your body and go to a chair in the room. We're going to do a little alternate nostril breathing now, and I'm going to just show you. So it's good to have your eyes open if you've never done this practice. If you're congested, please don't push yourself. If a nostril feels blocked, just do regular breathing. So I'll just show you first before you do it. We're going to close the right side and inhale through the left to a count of 4. Then closing the left and pausing, and then exhaling right. Then inhaling right, closing right and pausing, and exhaling left. And so that's the flow, but I'm going to walk you through it. We're just going to do a couple minutes. So closing the right side and inhaling left to the count of 4. Closing the left and exhaling right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Closing right and exhaling left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling left. Count on your own now. Exhaling right. Inhaling right. And if you wish to pause between the inhale and the exhale, or the exhale and the inhale. Inhaling left if you're following me. Closing the left, exhaling right. Inhaling right. Closing the right and exhaling left. And last breath, inhaling left. Exhaling right. Letting go of the nostrils and breathing with both nostrils now. As you just simply breathe at whatever rate is comfortable for you, feel the two sides of your body. Feel inside of your head. Feel inside of the heart center. Now we're going to do an equanimity practice. I use my hands always to help me with this because it helps me bring focus. But you don't have to. You can have eyes open or closed, use the hands or not. And this practice is one that gets easier with practice. So don't worry if it's a little confusing. Just go with it and let it be what it is. So first, imagining a person that's a dear friend right in front of you. Dear friend. And then imagining a person on the left side of you that triggers you, that is difficult for you to be with. Maybe you love them and yet they're sometimes difficult for you. So difficult person on the left. Dear friend in front of you. And on the right, imagine a stranger, someone who maybe you were in a public place with, or who served you a meal, or a neighbor you don't know. Stranger on the right, dear friend in front of you, person who is difficult for you on the left. Now move the difficult person to the front and the dear friend to the left. Dear friend on the left, difficult person in front, stranger on the right. Now switch stranger on the right with friend on the left. So friend is on the right, stranger on the left, difficult person in front of you. Now move difficult person to the right and friend back to the center. Difficult person in the right, friend in the center, stranger on the left. Just notice these three positions: stranger, difficult person, friend, friend, stranger, difficult person, stranger, difficult person, friend. And let it all just be labels. An outer covering. Stranger, friend, difficult person. They're all there. And you're here in the center noticing it. Imagining a storm and how the storm has a very calm middle place. Imagining an old, wise ancestor who watches the children play and the children cry and the parents worry, and the old, wise ancestor just sits with a gentle nature watching it all. And letting your hands rest on your legs and your eyes open. And wherever you'd like your eyes to be, open or closed, imagine a time in the last 6 months where something triggered you. You were offended or hurt, or you had an argument with someone you care about. And imagine that occurrence when you were not happy with how things went or with another person. And just get that time, that event with you, and just remembering it. Now, not the biggest trauma in the world and not the nothing, but something in the middle, like an argument with your wife or husband, or a frustration about your child, or your best friend hurting your feelings. Think of that time. And now imagine yourself 5 years in the future. 5 years in the future. Remembering that time again, how does it feel now? The time you were offended or triggered. 5 years in the future, how does it feel? What do you think? What do you sense about it? Do you have any wisdom to give yourself from the future 5 years? Now move 10 years in the future and try to remember that event that triggered you. Notice it now from the space of 10 years in the future. Now, whatever age you are, imagine you are close to death. You are readying yourself to pass on to the next life. Oh, well, that's my belief, sorry. You're preparing yourself for, whoops. You're preparing yourself for whatever death means to you. And you think of that time you were triggered, that event, that person. How do you feel about it now? Let that wisdom come to you from the future. Thank yourself. Thank this very wise old you. Thank the you 10 years in the future. Thank the you 5 years in the future. Thank yourself tomorrow as well. And coming back to the present, to this moment. Let's first just ground yourself, whatever that means to you. Maybe tap your body a bit. Listen to your own guidance of what it means to just be, okay, I'm no longer in that future. I'm in the here and now. And slowly, comfortably stand up. You might want to shake it out a little bit. We're almost at the end, only a couple to go. Now, thinking about what's really, really most important to you. Just let that come to you. What is most important to you? Is it a value? Is it a role in your life? Is it a way you relate to the world? Whatever is most important to you. And maybe, you know, for some it might be creativity. For some it might be truth. For some it might be an emotional truth. For some it might be a value or a role they have, a position they have in the world. Or it may be a spiritual experience that they have. Anything at all. Let that most important thing be there for you. And notice if there's any values or words you associate with that most important thing. And think of those values. Values can also be emotions, like sometimes I get confused between values and emotions, like love or humor, playfulness, responsibility, gratitude, courage, strength, connection, whatever it is. Take one of those words and let it be like a lens for you now, knowing it grows out of the most important thing for you, this word, this value, or this state. And let your body begin to walk through your life story with that value as a guide, as a helper, as a friend. Remember your childhood, however that is for you, whatever parts you wish to see, to nurture, to forgive, to change. Go back in time with that value, just walking through the years. Walk through being a young child, walk through the school years. Maybe some of those years it's hard. Maybe you're like, oh, can't get up this hill. Maybe it's easy. Maybe it's like spinning. I don't know. But keep going. Go through your adolescence. Letting that value, that quality be like a lens you look at it through. Letting any helpers along your life show up for you. Let them nod to you. And just notice them. Maybe it was a friend, a teacher, a neighbor, an animal, a pet. Maybe it was a family member. Just thank them quietly in your own way. And keep moving through your life. However, whatever your stage of life is now, let yourself journey through your life, continuing to walk. Grab another value if you wish to notice your life through. And if you wish to bring any expansion or caring or kindness to your life, think of those years and just, gosh, give it like a little warmth, whatever it was. And keep going. Remember the really joyful, expanding growth times in your life. The times of deep resting or nurturing. Or challenges that maybe you overcame or that taught you something or that even showed you something important in a defeat. Let that be with you as you walk. And seeing a beautiful mountain, kind of a hill in front of you, begin to walk up that hill and know that you're walking into the present. Letting the years just roll by as you go up this hill. And when you get to the top of the hill, notice a beautiful view below you, and that view is your whole life. And to the left of you is your past, and to the right is your future. Look out at the left, the past, and the right, the future. And feel yourself here on the mountain, right in the center. And if you wish, just zoom out and notice anything in your future you wish to see. And zoom out and notice anything in your past you wish to embrace and take with you as a guide, as a helper, as a friend. And go back into that future, noticing it, noticing a time, maybe in a year, noticing the people near you, or the solitude, or the nature, or the city, or the positions that you're in, the roles in your life. And then lift your hands up and let the left hand be your past and the right hand be your future. And just gather them together as though you're gathering very precious fruit. And bring them, gathering them together as an energy right in the center of your being. Right in the center of the moment, like a ball you're creating, a ball of energy, of light, of expansion, this energy of the present, all the good in the present. Feeling that energy right between the hands. It's becoming a beautiful present energy ball. Maybe it's larger ball, maybe it's smaller. Maybe it's a ball that goes all around you. Like a beautiful bubble of light protecting you, letting the good in, letting the good out. Or it's a small, beautifully condensed ball of energy and light, and give it to yourself. Give it to any part of your body that wants it, and let yourself receive it. And now make another ball of energy, and let this ball of energy be a gift of your presence out to the world. Perhaps to someone you know and love, perhaps to a group of people or a place on the earth that needs your good energy. Make this ball of energy And when it's ready, give it to the world, wherever you wish to give it. And feeling our connection with the world and with each other and with ourselves. Let your hands begin to just trace a circle, letting the wrists move, kind of like a figure 8 with the hands. And thinking of that figure 8 and how in the middle it crosses in the present moment and then it goes out, it crosses back into the present. Or maybe it's a big sweeping figure 8. And then with whatever room you have, see if you can walk in the shape of the infinity symbol crossing in the middle. 2 circles connected in the middle. And come to the center point and stand, feeling the ground, feeling the strength in you, feeling those values, those experiences that you just gave yourself. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale it through the mouth. And as you breathe in, gather the energy into your body, into your belly. And as you exhale, let out the air, keep the energy. One more time. Thank you for practicing 21 Journeys. Lovely. So we usually sit now and take a little time to process together. I welcome any shares, any questions. Sometimes it's just a certain part of a journey that feels really dear to us, that it's nice to share with others. Isabel has the mic. Sometimes it's an after kind of sense of things.
So I've practiced this online
Yes,
with you, and
yes.
it's so different. I've never done it in a group with people, and the energy and the warmth you were saying, and it was just amazing. It takes it to a new level.
Good.
So, yeah,
And this is a new
great.
21. So
Yeah, there were some. I was like, I don't remember that one.
yeah, it's a little different. Thank you. I'm so glad you could be here in the room. Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone have a guide or an animal show up?
I did have a guide show up, actually. It was my grandma. And I didn't want to move on to the next exercise because I wanted to stay with her.
Yeah.
It was the 3 minutes went too far and went by too fast.
Yeah.
And some of the exercises I thought, oh, it's like they were long for my, I was thinking, oh, is it over soon? And some were like not long enough. So it's really interesting, the perception.
Yeah.
Also, I thought I agree with what you said with I thought it was very much more emotional in the group, in the room. And yeah, like I'm not really like, I don't show emotions all that much, but I was like, my tears are just running down. So I really enjoyed it, very powerful.
I'm glad that you could do that. I'm so glad she came to you. Yeah, and by the way, sometimes we remember the journeys afterwards. We don't even, like, often my mind goes a little blank and it's only later in the day or the next day that I remember things from the journeys.
But one more thing,
Yeah.
actually, the life transition, whatever, when we went through our life, I just saw all these people that I had so many nice things happen to me in my life, like so many nice people that appeared. And, you know, I was just always so grateful, and you can't always thank them, you know, when they're there, they're just, or so when you're little, you don't realize actually what they're doing for you. And yeah, I just realized, you know, more and more, that's what I want to give back at some point, because I received so much in my life.
Do you remember, was there a value that you walked with? Was it gratitude or love, or?
There were different ones. Yes, gratitude was one definitely that walked along, and unconditional love came up a few times.
Because sometimes that really helps. Like yesterday we did the life story exercise, but this is sort of a different version of that. If we use a lens to look at our life, so we can look at it as like a teaching, or we can look at it as like through gratitude or unconditional love or through humor. You know, there's different lenses we can use, and it can really soften our whole being around that past, I find. So.
Bliss was
Bliss.
also one.
Oh, that's a really good one. I'd like to walk through my life with bliss. I like that. Thank you. Yeah, in the back.
Thank you. Something that I realized in this process came to me when we were doing the speed coaching. And do you remember where we had to mention what our life was, and then we had to do it in just backwards and then 1 minute?
Yeah.
And I did that with Stacy, and when we did the 1 minute, the only thing I talked about me was this water tank. When I was a kid, when I was 12 years old, this is actually in Mexico. I used to go back and forth between here and Mexico, and I saw, you know, those long, tall water tanks where you have to, they've got like a little ladder kind of thing, and then you jump in. Well, I was 12 years old walking down the street on a hot summer day in Monterrey, Mexico, and I looked at that and I thought, well, what a great idea. Why don't we go up there and go swimming? And I did. And I jumped in there, and of course other people think it's dangerous because when someone turns on the water, it kind of would go like this, but you would just swim, and I'd get up to the ladder, and then I'd jump all the way, you know, get back up. Wow. So the following day I told my cousins about it. My cousins were older than me. I was 12, they were 14 and 16. And I said, no, it's great. It's clean water. You know, it's the water of our city. Did you get in? Did you have, no, I just jumped all in, you know, took my clothes with my underwear, of course. And so I told my other cousins they should do it as well. And they did, only that time we made so much noise that the police saw. So when we went to Christmas time, we went to Mexico. My wife had heard this story before. She believed it because it's me and she knows me. Mm-hmm. But this was the first time she had been in Mexico and met my extended family. Mm-hmm. And everything they'd say is, you're married to Regan? He's crazy. You know that tanque de agua? And she says, yes, I know the tank of water. I know about that. And we drive by and I'd say, look, honey. And she'd look at that and she'd say, that's just you. I always believed that about you. Wow. And I now realize it really is what I'm the proudest of. It is what I would say my greatest accomplishment, if you will, because I didn't have to accomplish it. It's just me. And I remember Christmas Eve, my cousins that are now older with their kids, you know, they were saying, oh yeah, he's the guy that got in the water. And my cousins were saying, very dangerous, very dangerous. Don't listen to your Uncle Regan. And the whole time I'm looking at my wife thinking, well, what are they gonna say to their kids? But the truth is, it's wonderful. It is to the core everything about me. Wow. So when you were talking about the tree, it wasn't a tree, it was that tank of water that I got up on and jumped in. It's just one of the most blessed experiences. And now when I realize what has happened that's been good, it's that mischievous side. It's that part of me that says, okay, maybe you're not supposed to do it, but what are they really gonna do? That's what life is about. Thank you.
Anyone have a tree experience? Yeah, do you want to share? Yeah, right there.
So I really enjoyed the part about the trees in the forest. Ocean is my potion, but the mountains are a close second. And recently I've been struggling with the decision about what to do with this vessel that I occupy when the time comes. So for a long time, I've had it in my head that I would just be cremated, and you could throw some ashes in the Caribbean. You could throw some ashes in Colorado.
You want to be all over.
All over, right?
Yeah.
But recently, I came across a company that actually owns a forest. And what they do is you can be cremated, and your cremated remains are spread in the forest, right? You own a tree. Once you buy that plot, that tree is yours, right?
Oh,
Redwood
I
tree.
like
Or
that. I want to know that company. That sounds good.
be happy to share it with you.
Yeah.
And the forest is like, they
Can
have
we
a
go
forest.
walk in that forest?
Absolutely. Yep. But you know, the exercise, I've been struggling with this decision for a while, right?
Yeah.
You know, is this somebody who's coming and asking for a bunch of money, or, you know, are these people real? And I've been to the forest. It's real, right? So,
Wow.
but I still, you know, primed and meditated and hoped for, you know, an answer and clarity. And it came.
And it came.
Yes, because I identified in the exercise with a redwood tree, and that is what is in this forest is redwood along with some other varieties. But yeah, really helped me clarify.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. And, you know, trees can be our guides and journeys, just like animals can be, or ancestors, or whatever it is. Trees, flowers, plants. Yes. Right here, Isabel.
Okay, this is just a quick little somatic experience.
Yes.
I was on a beach as a tiger. First, I'm usually a mountain lion or a puma, but I became a tiger and I jumped from the beach to a tree branch, and that was the most powerful jump. I felt every single muscle. I was so strong.
Oh, I love that. Oh, thank you for that sharing. Ah, I feel like a story is coming together. The water, the grandmother, the tree, the tiger. It's just so we can take each other's journeys also and enjoy them, and know that it might be different for all of us. Some people are more kinesthetic and there's no images. Some people are more auditory and they just go with the music and have that experience, or with their own inner music. So please respect the way you relate to whatever practice it is you're doing. I like to share with people, because I always know there's some people in the room who don't see things and they wish they could. They want it to be more like a movie. And I used to see lots of things when I meditated, and I loved that. And I went on lots of shamanic journeys and had these great experiences becoming things and seeing things. And then it all stopped. I kind of meditated it out of my experience. So I spent a lot of time in silence, and visual thinking kind of dropped away. And very rarely do I actually have a journey like that, but that's okay. What came in instead is really beautiful and expanded and connected and settled, and I don't miss the visual experience. So just know it's okay however you're wired. One man once told me all through 21 Journeys, he was just in a fog. He just felt he was in the gray of a very neutral fog. And it was sort of the way I felt. It was the way he experienced presence in himself. That it was just really diffuse and without a lot of color or texture or clarity. And, you know, how to accept that in ourselves, whatever it is, even if we're experiencing our presence and it's uncomfortable, bringing in that acceptance. I think that's why we start with Let It Be, because I find that song really sets the tone for what I'm hoping that we can all allow during the 21 experiences. And Kara, yes. I have been so lucky to hear Kara's experiences now for 5 years. They're beautiful. So I'm excited.
I still adore it and love it. Luckily, I can, well, I won't go backwards. I'll start with now. Today, the scribe, so many things from this are like kind of coming through. I am an experiencer and a seer. And the scribe had a note that said, nothing is wrong. And then it had a space on the rest of the scroll that said, color here. Like a space to draw stuff, anything I wanted. I like that. The avatar that.
Did you draw anything? Not
No,
yet?
it was like for later.
It's for later. Okay.
Yeah, that was to hold on to for later. The avatar that came out, your puma that jumped, reminded me, because she came back again later when we were on the mountain looking at the past and the future. And then it was that going into the cave? I can't remember. There was something that it was like, oh, that was awesome. It was like your puma jump. It was like, whew, and I just kind of had wings and I flew over to this perch on this rock with this water below it. That was awesome.
Oh.
And I'm just sort of like anchoring things.
I'm so glad you mentioned the scribe, because I had totally forgotten that part of the journeys. You guys remember your scribes, remember your messages, take them with you if you had one.
I guess that's it for this share for now. I thought there was more. Thanks,
Beautiful. And may I share something about the first time you did 21 Journeys? Okay, so when I started teaching 21 Journeys, I had a lot of energy, more kind of energy running through me than I have right now. And often people, one or two people in the room would kind of start having energy experiences, and Kara was one. and she had a lot of energy and was so mature. She just said, I'm going to go process for about an hour now. And she went and lay down in the hallway, and we made a little, and shook. And I think you had a protector, a gentleman in the group came and said, I'll just stand by you, kind of keeping guard. And I was grateful to him for doing that.
Me too.
And actually that's how Kara and I became quite close, because I said, well, anyone that started to shake like that during 21 Journeys, I better give her my number. But from having now over 5 years really taught this, and different people having that, just know that whatever, if you're feeling more energy or you're feeling more emotions, that's normal. That's part of this. Today we're going to be focusing on emotions and metaphors, so it's really, that's why we start with 21. And these 3 ladies plus many more in the room, men and women, are energy workers. So I'm gonna, well, the team does have to put chairs back, but please approach them to, if you want grounding of anything. It helps to tap right here on both sides to kind of send the energy back down through the body, and also to focus on the feet. And you can ask anyone in the room, you know, just help me ground. And just having a friend put their hands on your back and focus on taking the energy to its rightful place down through the body to feel grounded and settled. It's still expanded, still open, but open and grounded. That is what we're looking for today, to give us the stability for all the work we're going to do. So, and thank you at home for joining us.